No more changing stations, you came to the right place. Turn off your televisions, they'll just get in the way. It's time to get to the point on 107.3. Axe is on the air with locals only.
Locals only, Central Kentucky's rock station is 107.3 The Point. It's segment 2 of this is segment 2 of Louie tonight.
This is the Louie local to this area,
Louie
not
Bringers,
Louie the local guy.
yeah,
I want to stress, just while I got a second, that this is proof there's two of us.
Yes.
I am not Louie the local guy. I'm Louie that does local music here.
And there's some pictures floating around now, too. So there's actual pictures.
There's pictures that prove that there's two separate Louies. And this is the first Louie locals only.
Yes,
I think,
the Louie's locals only. Yes, absolutely.
So all that stuff that was just said for the last 20, 30 minutes, that is not me. Do not hold me. I don't want to hear nobody coming to me complaining. Do not hold me responsible. I cannot be responsible for what Louie the local guy.
Yeah. You don't want
and
to
he can't be responsible for what I say. Trust me.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's cool. That's I'm playing that show that he just talked about.
Yeah, you're playing that show on the acoustic stage. There's a bunch of bands on the acoustic stage, but we got a couple other shows going on, and I just want to kind of get out. It's going to be a big weekend, October 17th and the 18th. So it
is. And 17th, of course, we got the Louie the local guy benefit on the 18th.
Monster Meltdown.
Oh, yeah. A lot of y'all come out to Midsummer Meltdown. You got Burnt Boy Productions. You got Jackson Enterprises. And you got Splatter Tribe Entertainment. We got Rob from Burnt Boy Productions here tonight. He actually is the founder of R&R Sound, too, who has done pretty much all of our Radcliffe shows.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the shows locally that we've done for the last year and a half.
A lot of them.
His crew's done. And we got him here tonight, too, because he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on. And, man, it's going to be a jam-packed night, right, Rob? It's going to be...
Well, you got drink specials. You got Airy Mac. You got Art of Being. We got 99-cent tacos. $5 pitchers on the hour. Of course, we're going to start out. Louie's going to be doing his set. Matt Reardon and Aaron Fogel.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good. We've got a Lithium issue Jackson guitar we're going to be giving away.
Okay.
Which always does real well.
That's Jackson Enterprises.
Jason
Jackson.
Jason Jackson from E-Town Diecast and Collectibles. And we've got a Kindle notebook that's got every issue of The Walking Dead in it already preloaded.
It's a Nook. It's a
Nook.
Kindle Nook he's going to give away. It's got all like
there's also a
155
autograph T-shirt we're giving away.
Yeah, and the guitar. I want to stress that if you've been to the Primer show or the Midsummer Meltdown show, Jason basically takes a guitar and customizes it to the show. I mean, and this show is Lethian's show. This is Lethian's headline show. And he's gonna be giving away a custom Lithian guitar that he's doing. Jason is a creative son of a gun, and he's doing his thing. Yes. And it's.
I wanted the last guitar, dude. It was nice.
Yeah, he did the Primer guitar was good, and the one from the last show. So that's going to be awesome. And
we've also got Amy Lynn going to do fire dancing outside.
Amy Lynn, she's a awesome fire dancer. I don't know if you've ever seen that stuff. She did a couple shows with us last year.
Yeah, right.
She's going to be doing the fire. There's all kinds of stuff. Just in case there's anything I forgot, we got Amy's going to be doing the fire dancing. We got the custom Jackson guitar raffle. There's going to be a costume contest. So look, it's the week before Halloween. Dress the hell up. Mm-hmm. Come out. You know what I mean? We're going to have a costume contest. We're going to have, just to go through the whole lineup real quick, Lethian is going to headline this thing. Like I said, this is Lethian's show. We're going to give them the props. They've played a lot of shows for us in the last year, usually playing second to last or whatnot. They're going to be closing this thing out. Candlefly, Matt O'Riordan, Aaron Fogel. We've got The Art of Being. We've got Manic Method. Manic Method played the Primer show. That used to be 6 Foot Fall, and it was in Tree Meets Sky, actually, with Aaron. And you've got Ari Max. She's local, acoustic. She's unique. And this is diverse and unique artist. And it's going to be an awesome time. And like I said, Rob here is his crew. We got Bruce Avramis.
Sound technician, then of course my son Richard.
They're going to be doing sound, and man, it's going to be a good time. It's going to start somewhere around 6. We're going to run to 1, and of course, where's it at?
Lost Margaritas.
Lost Margaritas in Radcliffe, Kentucky.
Oh yeah, Nacho will take care of you.
And,
All right.
Anything else that you want to add about it, man? I mean,
Well, let's do some Lethean while we're thinking
yeah,
about
let's do some Lethean, and we're going to talk about another show coming up too, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this. Like I said, just remember October 18th. That is
October
next
18th.
Saturday.
Yep, this Saturday coming up.
It's this
This
Saturday.
is Saturday. Yep.
This Saturday.
Lost Margaritas. Be there around 6. Anytime after 6, there's going to be music going. There's going to be a party. There's going to be free stuff. There's going to be raffles. There's going to be
Drink specials.
look, 99-cent tacos. And I do want to
Gift
stress.
certificate giveaways.
Yeah, and there'll be a lot more too because Jason's going to pull all kinds of things out. I do want to stress because we had this problem last time. These 99-cent tacos. That is not a value meal. It's a 99-cent taco. It's not nachos and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah.
They had that picture. $5 beer pitchers every hour. You can get a pitcher beer for 15 minutes. Every hour you get a pitcher beer for $5. $4 top shelf shots.
Yep.
All right. Lethean, Corrupt. Let's check it out. They're going to be headlining the show coming up. Of course, it is the Monster Meltdown, October 18th at Lost Margaritas, Central Kentucky's rock station, locals only, 107.3 The Point.
Control me, you think I will break you think you're above me, I think you're a mistake, you think you're mistaken, you think I can't see, you think you're invincible, I think you're a mistake. Open your eyes. See the reality. I'm not afraid. You're not above the law. See your last right. I'll show you crazy. See how tough you are. Standing below me. Your shoulder, I think you're a mistake. Open your eyes, see the reality. I'm not afraid, and you're not above the law. See your last right. I'll show you crazy. See how tough you are. Standing below me. 43% of Americans refuse to stand up against corrupt law enforcement officials due to fear of being victimized. I tell you, my friends, I am not one. I am not one. Open your eyes, see the reality. I'm not afraid. You're not above the law. Say your last right. I'll show you crazy when you're standing below me.
Lethean, Corrupt, Central Kentucky's rock station is 107.3 The Point, locals only. Of course, Lethean going to be headlining the Monster Meltdown October 18th at Los Margaritas, Candlefly, Ari Mac, Manic Method, Art of Being, Aaron, Matt O'Riordan, of course, part of the night.
And Louis Bringers.
And Louis Bringers.
Our local guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to be confused, because that is a confusing thing. It confuses me, man. If I go to one of that other Louis shows, man, all night everybody's yelling Louis and like nobody's talking to me. And especially if you start drinking some beer, that'll mess
Louis,
with you.
hey,
I want to say something that I'm going to start Splatter Tribe wise for these local shows, because I cannot explain to you people, even if we have 5 people show up or we have 200 show up,
Absolutely.
what goes on behind the scenes as far as trying to promote this, how many people help out, and every little thing. I mean, the radio show, you got the websites, you got the Facebook, you got people sharing flyers, you got friends telling friends, there's so much that goes on just to help local people. This is local business. It's just like supporting local business. That is what local music is. It's a local business. Just not a very profitable local business.
That is true.
But it's a local business. And I want to say, I'm gonna start every one of these shows from here on out. I'm gonna have a guest of honor, a local music supporter guest of honor. Splatter Tribe is gonna do that, and then we're gonna do Burnt Boy and Jackson Enterprises is helping on this one too. And the first one is obviously gonna be Axe here from 107.3 to Point, and locals only, because
always been there for support.
locals only is, and I don't know how many people out there. It's hard to even get a scope of how many people listen to it. I know how widespread this radio is. I know how widespread this station is. And the fact that you air this music on weekends, anybody that comes in, nobody gets turned away. I mean, it's about as supportive as you can get. So we have to start out at the top with Axe and the radio, because that has united a lot of people. I've met a lot of people through locals only, through the Point.
Well, and it's cool tonight that we had, Louis, the local guy, in, and you got bands, and you met some of these guys, and I met some of these guys that I met before coming in, because that's all a big part of it.
And that's the thing too. And I mean, it's.
The bad part of it was he thought I was you.
That's funny. Funny. But we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna get into the next show too, and I'm gonna segue back to Louis, local guy, for a second, the other Louis. But Axe is gonna be the first ever, obviously. So Axe is gonna be the guest of honor that night. So that he has to be there now. If not,
yeah,
we're gonna come up with something that's gonna take Axe's place, and he's not gonna want to see the video of that later. So it's basically, and he's going to help me do some guest hosting that night too and stuff. And we're all there. We're gonna be honoring Axe, and we might come up with something to signify what these are when we're doing this too. So Axe will be there. We do want to thank you for doing what you do, and all the bands, all the artists. I mean, you got the bands,
and
you got the
think
promoters.
I think a lot of the guys, and I'll say this about the musicians. I wish a lot of these local musicians would make more money than they did in places that they're out and about. And I know everybody tries to get them up to a level of doing that, but that is an issue with people playing original music. There's a lot of places that go out and go, hey, I want a cover band, and they get $400. And I wish these local musicians would get some money to be able to support themselves that way, and they really don't. And they're the ones that are the real artists out there doing it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why I spotlight that, because they are. And there's some bands that do a little bit of both, and that's fine. Some of them have to support themselves that way, and they do that, and they're smart about it. Then there's
yeah, I've got nothing against any cover bands either, but everybody thinks, because he's like, even a lot of the cover bands, the bars will pay them a lump sum to come in and play songs. Well, they don't do that for us. Us original guys, we get door. So when you're coming in and you're paying at the door, you look at a $10 going in the door. If you're getting 8 bands, that is a little over $1 per band. Is what you're getting. And that is the funds that helps us keep this thing going. We don't get paid by the bars.
Yeah.
Nothing against the cover bands that do, but we don't. I mean, they might make $400 or $500 a night. I've never made $400 or $500 a night in my life in music.
And people on a small scale on local bands and a lot of regions just don't make that kind of money. So
make sure we give everybody.
Yes, and we do, and that's the thing too. And we at these shows we distribute the money to the bands, to the
involved. It has a lot of talent, whether they're behind the scenes or on the stage. I mean, like Bruce and myself,
sound
been in
guys.
music forever. I mean, and we actually care. We've been there, done that. A lot of times you'll see us. We'll get up, we'll help you adjust, tune, and we like it loud.
And that's why we're going to give the thanks to Axe on this one, because if you're going to start out doing it, you got to start there. You got to start, and like I said, I recommend anybody coming in here. I don't know that Axe has ever turned anybody away that was doing original music. Yeah. Sometimes that's for the best, sometimes that's for the worst.
Sometimes,
but that's not my decision or my judgment.
For up and coming bands.
I mean that's it. Yeah,
the art of being is fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
Which I really wish you would have told me we were coming. I would have brought you some of their music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And but I mean,
a lot of different types of music on this program, and I don't really discriminate for country, rock,
there's rap,
hip hop,
Rain Man, B Red, all them guys.
Yeah. So,
and I do want to make a little segue into the other show while we got this segment, if possible, is also the October 25th.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming back, Kentucky Khaos in Vine Grove. It's going to be at the Armed Forces Motorcycle Club.
The old Night Riders.
The old Night Riders, Armed Forces Motorcycle Club. These guys are cool as hell with me. We did this last year. Rob and them was in on it last year. This year, there's too much going on. But Rob and them run sound last year, and it was one of our biggest crowds we've ever had. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there. It's a private club. There's no issues, man. They support us. It's about supporting the Armed Forces Motorcycle Club. It's about supporting just the Armed Forces in general. And we're going to do that up the next weekend there, and that's going to be a whole totally different lineup. There's a few of us that's going to be similar. We'll get more into that on the next segment.
This guy will probably be playing again. Louis Brangers.
I will be playing both these shows.
I guess he'll be playing again.
And I will be co-MCing both these shows.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Louis Brangers.
Rob, like I said, Rob right here. Give a shout out another time. Anything else you want to say about just this show in general, man? You know.
No, you pretty much said it all. I really appreciate, the support we get. We really try to put our heart into this, I mean, we love the music. I've known Aaron Fogel since he was, knee high to a grasshopper. And he used to come to practice.
Was that like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. He's still knee high to a grasshopper. But
Just
that
joking,
was
Fogel.
several years ago, back when we did cover bands and stuff. And I'm really impressed with how far he's come along with his talent and stuff. And so we enjoy it. We enjoy doing it. We like trying to help. Bird Boy Productions got up into this because everything started to fall down, and and we do like it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And
come on
y'all
out, support
helped
us.
revive it.
Listen to Axe 107.3. Of course, you got Louis Brangers.
And let's check him out. I think he can play guitar.
If you
Right.
get tired, we just turn up the music.
Yeah.
That's right.
If I disappear, it's Louis Brangers. It is locals only, Central Kentucky's rock station, 107.3 The Point.
If I disappeared, would you still think that I was here? Would you even know I wasn't near? If I went away, you hadn't heard from me in days. Would I even cross your mind today? Some were born to bitch and they run with it. Me, I don't want no parts of it. All I want is just one day now. Clear my head, clear my brain. Everything here driving me insane. Go somewhere no one knows my name. All I want is just one day now. All I need is just one day. All I want is just one day now, just one day to get away from everything. Fingers in the air, always pointing away. Whole damn world still begging for change. Get no answers, we only hear blame. All I want is just one day now. Clear my head and toast to health. Hell with your change, I'll change myself. Ain't gonna listen to nothing else. All I want is just one day now. All I need is just one day. All I want is just one day now, just one day to get away from everything. if I disappeared, would you still think that I was here? Would you even know I wasn't here? Everything's been done, everything's been said. If that's the case, we should all be dead. We're still breathing, just crazy in the head. All I want is just one day now. Clear my head, clear my brain. Everything here driving me insane. Find somewhere no one knows my name. All I want is just one day now. All I need is just one day. All I want is just one day now, just one day to get away from everything.
Louis Brangers, If I Disappear, Central Kentucky's Rock Station 107.3 The Point, locals only, Sunday night. And, of course, Louis going to be doing a couple shows coming up. 18th, Monster Meltdown. 25th,
25th.
Kentucky Khaos, Halloween Havok.
This is Kentucky Khaos 2. We did this last year on October the 26th. This year we're doing October 25th. It's the Armed Forces Motorcycle Club, the Old Night Riders in Vine Grove, Kentucky. It's a private club. This is it's a totally different kind of show, man. These two shows here, two totally different kind of shows we got coming up for ourselves. This one here is run by the Armed Forces Motorcycle Club. They're letting us come in. They are nothing but gracious.
Very accommodating.
Very accommodating. Like I said, it's a private club, you know, and it's a whole different scenario. We've got on that show, man, we're going to have, it's going to be another one from about 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Probably all the bands on this show, most of them's going to get to play close to an hour. And we got a few of them that's going to play, 20, 30 minutes or something. But
18 and over.
it's 18 and over. It's $7. It's over at, like I said, Night Riders, Armed Forces Motorcycle Club.
Vine Grove.
Vine Grove, right across from Otter Creek Tavern. It's on the corner there across from Otter Creek Tavern. This one here, we're going to have James Terry and the Big Nasty Band, which James Terry played the Midsummer Meltdown we did.
Yep.
We're going to have
Fantastic job.
the return of Tiffany Tucker to these shows because she ain't played none of our shows in a while.
No, she hadn't.
Everybody knows how badass Tiffany Tucker is. We got a newer band called Curse of Romeo. They're going to be playing. You got me, of course. And
Straticus.
Straticus, getting back. I talked a minute ago about how Axe is going to be the first ever honoree, the local music supporter honoree. Well, the second one is going to be the next weekend, and I had to do it because we've always talked for a couple years now about doing a Louie show.
So this will be the Louie show.
This will be the Louie show because the guest of honor that night, local music supporter, is going to be Louie, the local guy. Not this Louie. I'm not that egotistical. I'm not going to honor myself.
You're not going to do a show.
I'm not going to honor myself.
You're not going to get yourself
I'd be like, it's going to be, it's Louie the local guy is going to be the guest of honor. He's coming down from Louisville to Vine Grove. Louie, I've played a lot of shows for him the last year or so he's just as much a supporter. He does it all the time. He supports local bands all he can in Louisville. He's coming down. He's going to help guest host. Going to be guest of honor. And I told him he could bring a band. He's bringing Straticus with him. So we've got James Terry and the Big Nasty Band, Tiffany Tucker, Curse of Romeo, Louis Brangers, Straticus, and Lethean. They're going to play this show too. And there's going to be a couple more artists. And it's going to be, like I said, it's a private club that is open to the public and hosting the event for the second year. There's going to be alcohol for the 21 plus. Drink responsibly. There's going to be pizza, hot dogs, chips, soda, and water. Halloween costumes are encouraged. It's like the week before Halloween, so they're encouraged.
Yep.
We're going to have the sound. The R&R sound's not going to be able to make this one with us, but we got E-Town Sound. That's James Terry and his crew. They're going to do it. R&R's has some other stuff going on. So don't, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be for the Armed Forces Motorcycle Club. I want to give a shout out to Rambler and Conan and everybody that's letting us do this.
And all the veterans.
And all the veterans,
That's
man.
right.
And come out because it's going to start around 6. Like I said, it's easy to find. The actual address is 155 Hargan Road, Vine Grove, Kentucky. But it's the old Night Riders across from Otter Creek Tavern. It's going to be a good time, man. We're gonna throw down the second year in a row. And we're hoping to make this annual. We're hoping to do this same thing next year.
Won't be able to miss it. It'll be the biggest party in the county.
And this is private property, private club, private everything. So they're gonna have the back door open. There's gonna be probably a bonfire going. We're gonna have it's gonna be indoor and outdoor. It was a club that was set up for music. There's a stage there. So don't forget October 18th. Burnt Boy Productions, Jackson Enterprises, Splatter Tribe Entertainment, Monster Meltdown, Los Margaritas, Radcliffe, Kentucky. It's going to start around 6.
All ages show.
That one's all ages.
October 25th.
And October 25th, that one's going to be Vine Grove, Kentucky. This one's going to be 18 and over, but it's going to be a good time. And you've got, man, there's 11, 12 different acts right here.
There you go.
Of local music. And real quick, first show, Lethian, Ari Mack, Candlefly, Aaron Fogel, Matter Reardon, The Art of Being, Manic Method, Louis Bringers. Second show, James Terry and the Big Nasty Band, Tiffany Tucker, Louis Bringers, Curse of Romeo, Lethian, Straticus. We're honoring acts on the 18th. We're honoring Louis, the local guy, on the 25th. And come
on
November,
up.
I'm going to sleep for a week.
All right.
Because me and Axe just got back from Louder in Life, from camping out at Louder in Life, and it
It
was
was like
insane.
35 degrees.
35
but
degrees.
You know what?
Because when splattertribe.com and 1073 to Point Ride, we ride in style.
We ride
in our tents.
We
baby.
had our tents and our air
separate
mattress.
tents,
Yeah,
but
yeah, you had your separate tent. I had my air mattress that didn't blow up.
yeah, and it was a hell of a show, and it was a fun experience. But it took us a little bit to recuperate. We're going right into these shows, and then I'm going to recuperate early November, and then get going again.
There you go.
I want to give a shout out, Rob. Thank you for getting these shows started back up at Margaritas.
I appreciate it.
You know, Rob was always with us on the homegrowns with Fogel and me and whoever else is involved. Thank you for doing it. Thank you, Axe. Thank you, Nacho. Everybody, when you go to Margaritas, we got to get some Nacho chants started because Nacho's the guy that lets us play up
And
there.
he'll do a little dancing too.
He'll do
You
some
gotta-
dancing.
you gotta get
He
some dancing going
he
on.
eats that crap up, man. And
And I'm sure you'll have some gift certificates you'll be wanting to give away.
there will be Axe might give away something.
On my
He hates when I say that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, fire dancer Amy Lynn. She's going to be at the Margaritas October 18th, October 25th. October 17th, I'm going to be playing Louis the Local Guys show. So 17th, 18th, 25th.
Tiffany Tucker, October 25th, and this is Back Home, wrapping it up. It is locals only. Central Kentucky's Rock Station, 107.3 The Point.
We need Bruce to scream.
It's getting pretty loud down on Kentucky Street. The cops pulled up, but then they took a seat. Now you don't get much better than this. Can't believe all the things that I missed when I wasn't back home, where you know everyone that you meet. Back home where I got swept right off of my feet. Back home, everyone, they all know me by name. Nowhere else will ever be the same. Look who just pulled in the drive. They're singing down at the Dairy Cup Live. So many reasons to call this my home. There's no way I'll ever be alone. 'Cause I'm back home where I know everyone that I meet. Back home where he swept me right off of my feet. Back home where I know everyone by name. Nowhere else will ever be the same. Neon lights may be nice for a while. This big old stage sure makes me smile. There's a little town that's calling my name. It's closer to me than fortune and fame. And I'm back home where I know everyone that I meet. Back home where he swept me right off of my feet. Back home where I know everyone by name. Nowhere else will ever be the same.